Hello there, and welcome to the Time Film Podcast, where we talk film, TV, games, and all that jazz like there's no tomorrow. This week, we're talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, the long-awaited third film in the Ghostbusters franchise. My name is Tom, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, John. Are you excited to talk about Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I'm genuinely excited to talk about it.
Oh, good.
It's just like a very unexpected film, to be honest. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened in the film.
That tends to happen, yeah.
I mean, like this one was a really good callback to the original. That's what I can say so far. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's not waste a single moment. Let's get straight into it. So yeah, spoilers indeed, all the way. So if you haven't seen it and you're interested, get on down.
Oh wait! Before we start, sorry. Can I just say, right? You know the new Spider-Man trailer just came out.
Yes, we'll be talking about that as well. So time codes in the description.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. That's important for a little bit later. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. We can get into it now.
All right.
Okay.
So,
spoilers.
Ghostbusters. What do you think?
Okay, to be honest, I thought it was a good film. I thought, I mean, there were some characters that were weak. Like it didn't have like that connection to me throughout the film because I feel like it was a bit empty, especially with the relationship with the other characters that I want to explore. Yeah. But it wasn't, that strong enough throughout the film. But yeah, and the story is quite interesting because it does take on the serious. It goes on a serious take on Ghostbusters because the first Ghostbusters film was like more about a comedy, more about like hunting ghosts on a very silly way, but this one does take heart and feeling of the Ghostbusters of the first Ghostbusters film, and that's what I like about it. I mean there's some key characters that really hold that throughout the film, but yeah, especially at the end, that was quite emotional. That one.
I 100% I agree with that. I think this film isn't without its comedy, but I think that what this film does so well is its emotions. It's so sincere. It's a love letter, to the original films, to Harold Ramis, just to so many different elements. And it felt so much more genuine than something like, Ghostbusters 2 or Ghostbusters 2016. It felt a lot. You can really tell that there was a lot of like care put into this.
Yeah.
But I still don't. I mean, I personally, I thought it was fine. Really did.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Like
it wasn't.
I'm not overly positive about it, actually. And maybe it's just because maybe I was holding it to the standards of the original film. And as we all know, the original film is like, it's like lightning in a bottle. Like, I don't even know how that film is so good. Like, how does that even work? It's just incredible on so many different counts.
Yeah, Ghostbusters is just like one of the best films ever made.
It is. It's one of the best films that's about nothing as well. It doesn't really it doesn't have anything to say, but it somehow doesn't matter. It's a brilliant film. Absolutely incredible. This one, there's a lot to be positive about, but I think there's just as much that I have to be a bit more negative about. I mean, first of all, the first thing is that I didn't laugh once. This was like, they're kind of going with more like a modern comedy, like, more kind of the kind of stuff that you'd find in an MCU film. And, as anyone who's watched any podcast episodes now, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of stuff. I'm much more a fan of like the kind of comedy that you get in, stuff like Ghostbusters. But still,
do you smell that?
Like, yeah. Listen, do you smell something? It's like that kind of stuff. I felt like that wasn't here. Maybe it's because the actors didn't deliver it as well. But yeah, I didn't feel that. Like there's so many like. In the first one, the characters managed to be so well realized without being kind of like quip machines, but they also kind of felt. But in this one, some of them felt very much like quip machines, and that was tiring.
Yeah. You can see that with Paul Wood, because you can see in the other films he's more bit of himself. You know what I mean? Like he has that energy throughout the film, but then his role here was a bit short because I thought he could be really involved with like because he loved Ghostbusters, that whole ghost traps and everything that we could see more of that, but I felt like the film was more focused on why were there earthquakes in Smallville or
in Smallville
who was no Smallville, no
that's where
Somerville.
Superman lives.
Oh my god, no! It's Somerville. Sorry, my
Superman
brain
is
just
in this film, guys.
because it sounds
Spoiler
so
alert.
It is
yeah,
similar.
no, I get you.
But
Brilliant.
it's a film is like focusing on too many other things at once, I think, because we're going to focus on the story of Phoebe's granddad, but then it's focused on I forgot his name. That he works at the diner thing, but then he quit. Trevor, yeah, I can't even remember his name. Oh my god, yeah, right. When he gets a job, he applies for a job there, and then there's the two people that just goes Trevor, and then just that was just random. I just did not expect them to say Trevor at the same time, and he goes, hey, yeah, you tried. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, this film it felt like a film of two halves to me. The first half was like there's like 7 different like plots going on at once. There's so much kind of going on. They've got like 2 romantic subplots. You've got Phoebe's main story and like trying to figure out what's happening with the granddad, and then like the earthquake stuff and the Gozer stuff, and then like you got loads of different characters like kind of like coming into that, and like the whole like the story between the mum and Egon. All that stuff was so crammed in there, and I think the second half for me saved the film. I thought it was much more focused. It had some really cool sequences. I thought the emotions were so much more like prevalent. The characters I think the characters are very well realized, but I think in that first half they were a little bit one note, and I think the second half brought that back to kind of like them having a bit more of a dynamic about them. In the first half, Phoebe felt like young Sheldon. It was like, which is weird because McKenna Grace, I'm pretty sure she's in that show, the actress who plays Phoebe, but she just felt like this kind of like Sheldon-esque character. But like in the second half, I felt like there was much more to her, like bravery and kind of like connection with the other Ghostbusters and Egon. I thought that stuff was done really well, but I just think it struggled, man. In that first half, I really think it struggled, and I was sitting there like, oh no, this isn't good.
I was exactly like that when I watched it in Screen X.
Oh, did you? Cool.
And it was a bit jarring, to be honest. But I don't want to add that to my negativity and my criticism. But
I haven't seen a Screen X film since 2018. It's been 3 years for me. Mad.
Oh, what film was it?
It was, I think I saw 3 films in Screen X in 2018. I saw
Aquaman. That was it.
Yeah, I saw Aquaman, I saw Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, and Bohemian Rhapsody. And I have to say, great experiences, all 3 of them, like I think Screen X is great for action sequences. And if you guys don't know what Screen X is, Google it.
It's a great experience for action, so that was the one that I can add. But for this film it wasn't right, actually, so I'm not going to add that to my criticism, but the first half, I know exactly how you felt, in the first half. I was just sitting there, just like realized, oh god, what is this film? Why am I seeing these terrible jokes, and why is it so slow and dragging on? And Paul Wood,
the pacing was very stop and start, like, again, I don't want to compare this film to Ghostbusters too much, because Ghostbusters, as we say, is just one of the best films ever made, and every single element works so well. But that film is 1 hour and 40 minutes, and you get to the climax in the exact midpoint. Like, the ghosts are like released, and the EPA like shut down the power grid, and like all the ghosts are released at the exact midpoint, and it's perfect. Like the pacing doesn't slow down at any point, and it keeps it moving. and I think in this one, as we kind of got into that middle point, it was dragging down, and then it kind of became a bit more, then it started to pick up a bit. But I feel like that first half, it left me very unengaged.
Yeah, very not entertaining. Well, it wasn't really picking up with the story, with everything, because the first half it was just like, oh no, what, the ghosts here, oh no, and then like, oh, the dirt farmer, oh my god, he lives there, oh, he's a terrible person, and it thinks the world is ending, and then not really. It's I think it's using that horror element. They got an idea, to slowly build up with the idea, and it just drags on, because this one, Ghostbusters, is more about. I know we're not gonna try and compare that, but with Ghostbusters, it's more about like the fun and silly sides, with Ghostbusting. But this one, it's just felt like, okay, we're just gonna build that idea, and then with Phoebe finding all the with the car, and with all the weapons that she needs to for Ghostbusting. So yeah, it wasn't.
The car was weird. Why is Trevor fixing I don't know anything about Trevor as a person. Why is he here fixing the car? Like,
I don't
why
know.
does he want the car? Like, what's happening?
And the confusing thing is that we don't see much backstory to why are these characters like these. Why is Trevor fixing these cars? At the beginning, he was fixing his mom's car, but that wasn't really explained as much.
Does that mean that he has an interest and a passion in cars? If so, I want to see that. I think Trevor is defined by his relationship with the other characters, and I think he's got some good moments when he's with other characters, but on his own, I don't really know much about him. Like, are you fixing a car because you want to use it to impress Lucky, or do you want to just fix it and go on a joyride? Like, what's your motivation here? I mean, that scene where he goes through the crop fields felt like it was just there so they could use it in the trailer.
Yeah, I feel like you don't see the character motivations throughout the film. It was just like really empty.
But I feel like this film did kind of the most consistent part of it was Phoebe and her arc throughout the film. I thought the best scenes were like her discovering things and trying out proton packs and stuff. However, my god, I hated Podcast. Like,
oh god,
I understand the irony that we are literally talking about a character called Podcast who is defined by his podcast on our podcast, but still, my god, he was such annoying comic relief, and honestly, the kid actor did a good job, but there wasn't there's nothing that kind of draw me to him. I didn't know anything about him. He wasn't layered. He did get better throughout. He got a little bit less annoying, but he wasn't. I guess they were kind of trying to go for he's the kind of Rick Moranis Lewis character. Him and Paul Rudd are kind of like those two characters. If we're kind of comparing character types to the first Ghostbusters, but it just didn't land. And I didn't like him, man. I really didn't.
I didn't like that either. It was just, we're supposed to get annoyed, but really it was just a character that was just there, just standing in for comic relief. And, at the beginning, it was just so random to have, Podcast talking to Phoebe in a very, strange way. And just
he's narrating everything. There's a scene where
God, he was just narrating.
Where is it that they walk in somewhere?
House.
And they walk into the house, and Podcast is next to Gary, Paul Rudd's character, and he said, Gary Grooverstein or whatever his name is, and he's like, a foreboding atmosphere fills the room, and it's just it took any actual foreboding atmosphere that they were trying to have.
No,
it was just I didn't like the comedy, and I guess they tried to make a payoff at the end when Ray is like, oh my god, that's you're that Podcast. Oh, it already found its voice in episode 46, but I didn't think that was it was okay, whatever,
Yeah, I feel like this film is very for the first half is very highly expositional, with some of the stuff that it was trying to do. It's trying to repeat the ideas over and over and over again, because it's trying to get the the spookiness, because we know the Ghostbusters universe after this, oh my god, the ghosts and everything that happened in New York, but they're just not accepting that to the story, because people's like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts, and then it's like, oh, because that's kind of the idea of the film. But then, I don't know, if you know what I mean, like,
Yeah,
doesn't really.
I think the exposition that they tried to deliver, the plot, I think the main plot is like really good.
Yeah,
I think
the main plot's great.
I think whenever it's moving, I think it's great. But I think that it's interspersed of like subplots that kind of drag it a bit down. And I think therefore there are things that aren't as fleshed out as they could be. Like Phoebe plays chess with a ghost. Is she playing it with a ghost? Is she playing it with the ghost of her of Egon? Is that the idea?
Yeah,
like
I think that was the idea.
That there were just various elements that were put in there, and they just confused me because they weren't as developed as they could have been.
No. Throughout the film, I thought, the score, that was nostalgic.
Ooh,
I think with
oh my god, yeah, they brought back so many different motifs.
They did.
They had like the evil motif, and then they had like the kind of like, I don't know, almost like everyday kind of motif of the characters, and I think it really worked. It felt so much more like the first one. It doesn't. It's funny because it doesn't acknowledge the second one like at all. I think maybe one thing. The only thing that not acknowledges the second film is the fact that Ray is working for Ray's occult, which is, I'm pretty sure he's working in Ghostbusters 2. But I just thought that was funny. It doesn't, but it's so like the nostalgia baiting is caked onto this film. Oh my god, the nostalgia baiting killed me. There were so many moments when it would hang on a shot of something, be like, "Hey, look, remember that? Do you remember this from the first one?" Like, yes, I did. I actually watched the first film a couple of weeks ago. Stop! Like, it was so annoying, but I think that some cases it worked. Like this, it essentially has the same plot as the first film with Gozer and stuff, but that was so well integrated. The idea that not Ghostbusters, Gozer comes back every few years, and it was 1984, and then now again in 2021. I thought that was so cool. That was a really interesting premise, and none of that I felt bothered me, and I think it was fun that we're doing like similar things. But there were some parts of it, like the mini Stay Puft marshmallows, were just thrown in there for the sake of it, and I'm just there, just like, please, can we stop? Some of that stuff really did kill me. It felt like Force Awakens, and Rogue One.
Oh yeah,
there's so many
Force
familiar
Awakens
aspects that I think are really well, but then there's other things that are just like, hey, remember this? They're like poking you, like, hey, remember that? You like this, don't you? Man, I'm like, yeah, I liked it in the 80s. Stop it. That was, but I think genuinely they went for a very similar plot for the first one, and it really works. I thought it was the ending when they actually go up against Gozer had some really, like, the action throughout is like fun and fast paced, and I think the mysteries and set pieces were really fun, like with them figuring out stuff. But I think the final like action scene was really, really well done, because they added like emotions to it as well, which I think really elevated it.
Yeah, it was really fun at the end. And when Gozo comes back, J.K. Simmons, he was just
J.K. Simmons is there for 2 seconds, and I'm like, hey, I love J.K. Simmons, but if you
shower the world and get whips in half anyway.
Why? Like, if you're gonna use J.K. Simmons, come on, you use him more, really.
Oh my god, like, he's one of the best actors. Like, why did you use him?
What a guy.
For, ripping in half and everything. But yeah. And the last part, them at the farm, was really cool. Like, it kind of had like the same emotion. I don't know, like when the original Ghostbusters came back, that was like,
I was so like, I was so worried that they would come in and save the day, but I think their entrance was really, really cool. You got that little bit of nostalgia, and then you're like, oh yeah, now they're gonna just save the day, but then they don't. They just get their ass handed to them, which, like, that makes sense, Like, they were never like the most kind of like together. They were just kind of blundering about the whole first film, and I think that was really welcome, that they didn't just save everything.
Yeah.
And they weren't as funny as they were before. As I said, I didn't laugh at any of this, but still to see them again. And honestly, when it cut to like all 4 Ghostbusters standing there, the 3 of them standing with the ghost of Egon, and and Ray says like to Egon at the end, "I'm sorry, I didn't believe you." It choked me up. I thought the way they did that.
I was like, oh my god.
The premise of the film that killed off Egon and then used him throughout, I think was so cool.
Yeah, like I felt like that. What's the director's name? Is it Reitman?
Jason Reitman.
Yeah, and I can tell that he really wanted to dedicate this whole film to for Harold. And like
the
Harold, the ideas.
The Harold tribute was super touching, and it couldn't have been done better,
and it just works so well for Phoebe and her mom as well, like how they felt being abandoned after Egon, but then it just comes back like forgiveness, and he wanted to save the world, had to sacrifice himself, and everything. It was just like a really powerful moment for him to forgive, and it's cool that he came back as like as a ghost for some time, because it's Ghostbusters, and like it's like that Jedi Force Ghost. It was like exactly like that, but
it was like
it
was actually. I think this film, it was weird. This film kind of did what Rise of Skywalker did at the end, when you've got Gozer shooting a beam of lightning at Phoebe, and Phoebe shooting a shooting her proton beam at her, and it was like the end of Rise of Skywalker. And then it was almost like all the Jedi come to help Rey. It was like all the Ghostbusters, but it was so much better than Rise of Skywalker. Like, just because I'm comparing it doesn't mean that it was bad. I thought it was by far the best part of the film, And I thought that the way they used that was so intelligent. But sometimes the cameos just felt like cameos. Maybe they could have had more to do, like characters like Janine was in it for one scene, and I was kind of like, oh, I thought that she might have been in it a bit more. And
but I was actually disappointed about that. I was just like, wanted to see more of that.
I thought when she was in it, I was like, okay, cool. So they're gonna have her in it. I hope that she's like, that she pops up again, and she didn't. And I thought that was a bit weird, but I did like Sigourney Weaver at the end.
Sigourney Weaver, she came back and did that card.
The card thing, that was quite fun, Again, I thought that they might I thought they might reference Ghostbusters 2. I thought they might bring in her son, but they didn't. So whatever. I guess people don't like Ghostbusters 2 anyway, so that's fine.
No one mentioned Ghostbusters 2. It's a war going to mention it. But what else? The last bit was just like a huge scene that was like, it was amazing. Like what they've done with Egon throughout the film, and like up to this point, it just worked really well.
I think the main family, their connection, not really Trevor. Again, what do I know about Trevor?
Get out, Trevor.
I think Finn Wolfhard is very good at doing the teenager. Obviously, we've seen Stranger Things. He's good at that stuff, but I don't really know much about that character. But I think the cat, like the mum, and what's the mum's name? Does she have a name?
Her name is Kelly.
Okay. So like her relationship with Egon, and her kind of chip on her shoulder because like her father left, I thought that was good. Same with Phoebe, but I felt like their relationship together didn't really work. Whenever they clashed, it feels short-lived. Phoebe and Trevor literally like are arrested, and they get away with it with barely a slap on the wrist. Like they have one conversation with their mum before she gets turned into Zool, and it's like it felt very much kind of like there weren't that many consequences for a lot of it, and I feel like it did consequences really well when Egon came back at the end. They had him there for a short moment, but of course he had to go, and I thought that was really good. And the way that she was hugging him as he disappeared was like, that stuff was just cinema, man. That was so good. Like that is literally the beating heart of the film.
Dialogue needed. Like that
No,
was
yeah,
just like
exactly.
you know, the emotion of it, like her just hugging, you know, her father. And another emotional bit was, you know, when she goes down to the basement and sees all the pictures that, you know, he was trying to you know, see her grow over time. Yeah, you know, the pictures in the basement. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
another emotional bit. But
yeah,
that last
definitely.
bit is just cinema. It is truly cinema, that last bit. Yeah.
Cinema at its very, very finest. But you know, I like stuff like they didn't use Slimer. I was so sure they were going to use Slimer.
Ah, did you?
I would
Yeah, did you
I would
use
have bet good money on that. If you'd have said like, oh yeah, I'll bet you £100, I would have done that. But they didn't, and I was like, you know what? I'm happy about that. You know, Slimer was thrown pointlessly into Ghostbusters 2. I mean, he was only there for one joke, so that's fine. But he was again thrown pointlessly into Ghostbusters 2016. But I thought Muncher was fun, voiced by Josh Gad. But yeah, Muncher, like, you know, like as I said, the over reliance and the tried and tested, like the baby marshmallows, was so annoying. But I enjoyed this kind of spin on Slimer, the first one they have to try and catch, and they do catch it, and they get thrown in jail, and then like he comes back later to kind of munch the bars. I just thought he was fun little ghost there. I really think that the elements of this film that work really work, but the elements that don't, they just very really just didn't. They like just yeah, they didn't go for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it was just like so empty with like, you know, with the elements from Ghostbusters. It was just like nothing there. I mean, it was like it needed like a whole new take on that.
Yeah, maybe if the film was a little bit like shorter and they cut some stuff out. Like I think obviously you've got two romantic subplots. You've got Gary and Kelly, and you've got Trevor and Lucky. And I think that while neither of them really kind of go into like full romance, yeah, I think that you could take out the Gary and Kelly stuff, you know? Like,
yeah.
honestly, I don't think you really need it, because I think, as we've said, Trevor, can we just like, who are you, Trevor? Like, he needed more time so desperately. And I feel like maybe if they took away some of the Paul Rudd time to get and gave it to Trevor, my boy, Trevor. Hashtag
Trevor.
release the Trevor cut. I feel like that would have, you know, been great.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, we talked about pacing. Is there a lot to talk about
Well,
with this film?
I think there's one more thing that I want to say, and then we can kind of give our scores and call it a day.
Yeah.
I think that similar to Creed, so you know in Creed when they don't play the Rocky theme for the whole film, and then there's this one like really impactful moment where Rocky's like, get up in the final fight, and Creed gets up, and they play the Rocky theme, and he's earned that title. At the end of this film, when it says for Harold, and then it went into New York, and the Ghostbusters theme came in. Cinema, baby, cinema.
Yeah.
That was so good. They used it once. They only needed to use it once, and it was so good. It was so rewarding to get that moment. And it doesn't matter, like the Ghostbusters theme will always be awesome, and it always has been awesome. And that was just so fun. Like there was a horrible joke in the film where Phoebe was like, "Oh, I want one phone call," and the police chief says, "Who are you gonna call?" I don't know if did people in the cinema laugh when you said that, because people did when I was there, and I was there just like, this is horrible. This joke was.
I mean, like, come on, stop playing with jokes and just like, you know, just like okay.
The film was so much better at doing emotions than doing jokes.
Yeah.
The first film felt like it was written by comedians because it was written by comedians, but this film wasn't written by comedians, and I'm sure they had passes on the script, but yeah, that didn't land. But who cares? The Ghostbusters theme was awesome. It was so cool, and yeah, like it's times of that when you realize this is why they keep on making Ghostbusters films, because you know when you get the theme playing and you get like the Ghostbusters together, people love it. I loved that. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really amazing like in the first half, but the second half was like really cool, you know, exploring about that mountain is it Mountain? Yeah, okay, Mountain. Yeah.
I enjoyed that it wasn't just another building. They kind of went into the mystics of Gozer a little bit. And they had like this huge like Gozer like mural in the wall. I thought that was terrifying, man. Like the giant Gozer and all the people scrambling up at them, and you know, you got Zool and Vince, and I thought that was really cool. However, I have to say, Zool and Vince, the Keymaster and the Gatekeeper, were they animatronic? Because I thought they looked so good. I thought I think they're animatronic,
really
and they looked incredible. Again, CGI is never as good as animatronic or just like any practical effects, puppetry, however you want to do it. But they look so good, you know, like, and they just look natural and creepy, and just like, you know, giant devil dogs. You know, that's what you want them to look like. They were so cool.
Like Jurassic Park, they use like a lot of animatronics.
Yeah, they do.
That was so cool. Like the Triceratops, just like how they did that. That was cinema. That's
another one, isn't it? They feel like so many films like from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s that they keep on making. Like, you know, they're making the Jurassic World films, they made Ghostbusters Afterlife, even Terminator. Every few years they try and reboot Terminator and Predator. It's like, when are they going to realize that you're never going to make as much of a cultural impact, or, you know, you're never going to kind of recapture the magic the audiences love, you know?
You cannot rework a masterpiece. That's the thing.
Not at all.
Do. No.
But in fairness, Ghostbusters Afterlife, it wasn't as bad as something like Fallen Kingdom. It wasn't as bad as like the Predator or Terminator Genesis. Like it had a lot to love, and I think a lot of that is because Jason Reitman, obviously being the son of Ivan Reitman, has, you know, this franchise has been such a big part of his life when he was growing up, and he really understands what makes it work, and I think a lot of it does work. So what do you think you give it out of 10?
I thought this was a good film. I mean, it had like its struggles, you know, what it was trying to do. I would give it a 6 or a 5.
Okay. I'm gonna go 5. I think there is exactly as much that I liked and that I didn't like. Which is a shame. You know, a lot of people say it's great, a lot of people don't. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's in the middle. If you're thinking about just the second half, it's a 9. Are you kidding me? If you're thinking about just the first half, it's like a 3. It's really is night and day how good the second half is, and how dreadful the first half is. And I think that's clever, because audiences are going to leave the film and be like, oh yeah, that was great, because they have just spent like the second hour of the film loving it, or the first hour they might have not have loved it so much.
It wasn't really impactful the first half, but the second half was like, wow, okay, that was really good.
I'm curious, what would you say to a fourth film? Obviously at the end of this film, I missed the second. Apparently there's a second post-credit scene, but apparently like I missed it. I already left.
I missed it.
Apparently like Winston is like rich, and he like reinstates Ghostbusters. So would you take a fourth film with like the new Ghostbusters crew like in New York? What do you think?
Okay, that's a lot. There's a lot to digest from that. Okay, so what we learned from Ghostbusters 2 was that it was a massive disaster from that film. But if somehow they can do, you know, work some magic with the Ghostbusters and, you know, make it a lot better than Ghostbusters 2 and the Ghostbusters 2016. We won't talk about Ghostbusters 2016 though, because that was a
new.
Anyway, if they can do,
if
they can do anything that is like hugely special to the first one, like it can, you know, have that magic back to what the Ghostbusters was, and I wish they can have like something that really has like a special journey for each of the characters, you know, in the first one, but you know, it's make it more comical, make it, you know, light and funny, because you don't see a lot of comedies with, you know, with sci-fi or with there's some elements with that, because that's what we're missing. You know, like with Back to the Future or Star Wars.
Oh my god! I swear, if they make a fourth Back to the Future film, we riot.
We riot. We go to which company owns that film?
Universal, I think.
Universal. We storm down Universal.
We're coming for you, Universal. Apparently, as long as Robert Zemeckis says that as long as he's alive, they will never make a fourth film. So,
how old is he?
Yeah, good question. I have no idea. He must be in his 70s. Robert Zemeckis age. He's exactly 70. So
oh wow, right.
Yeah, he's got like 20 years in him or so. So hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully they don't make that. But yeah, I think if they made a fourth Ghostbusters film, I wouldn't hate it, the idea of it, but I think we can leave it here. I don't think, unless they make a fourth film, I don't think I'll ever watch Ghostbusters Afterlife again. Maybe if I see it on streaming or something, but I really don't think I ever have any kind of drive or motive to watch it again, really.
I have like nothing to watch that film again. I mean, it was great for the emotional part, but I wish there was more Paul Rudd. That was the one thing that I wanted to see, like Paul Rudd, just being there, because Paul Rudd's great.
Yeah, Paul Rudd is great. Never seen it to more Paul Rudd. I think that in terms of Ghostbusters sequels, I think this is definitely better than Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh yeah,
I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. Is it better than Ghostbusters 2? I'm going to say tentatively yes, but not by much. I watched Ghostbusters 2 for the first time recently. I don't think it's dreadful. No, not at all. I don't think it's dreadful. But I think it's self-aware, to the point where like there's some really good aspects of its self-awareness, and the premise of it is really cool. But I think this film had more sincerity to it, and Ghostbusters 2, not really. Apart from like when they are in the Statue of Liberty and they're playing "Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher and Higher," and the New York is chanting, and it's. Have you seen Ghostbusters 2?
I watched a bit of it.
Yeah, it's not great, but I think that
it was on TV. But then I was like watching it. I was like, oh no, we're not watching that. We're not watching that.
There's
retreat back.
There's a bit in Ghostbusters 2 when they get the proton packs on for the first time, and they're in the court, and Peter like activates him, and he goes go, and then Ray does his, and he goes Ray, and obviously the idea is that you go do Ray me, and then they like, and then Egon, so it says do Ray, and then Egon, because obviously Ray's name is Ray, and he's also like do Ray Egon, and it was literally the like I died inside. It might be the worst joke I've ever seen, and oh man, I don't think Ghostbusters Afterlife ever gets that bad to the point, but it's also hilarious. Ghostbusters 2, it's also so funny because it's just crazy. It's insane. They must have been on so many different kinds of drugs when they wrote that thing. It is actually just insane, but yeah, it's so weird, man.
Right.
Ghostbusters Afterlife is definitely better. But yeah, I think in the future I'll watch Ghostbusters again. I don't think I'll ever watch Ghostbusters 2 or Ghostbusters Afterlife ever again. I don't think I have any. Ghostbusters is great.
If you're not going to watch Ghostbusters ever like again in your life, come on.
Yeah, it's great. Come on, man. I think I watch Ghostbusters at least once a year. It's so good. Any excuse to watch Ghostbusters. I love that film, man. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I think that is it for with the Ghostbusters. But what was like your favorite moment in Ghostbusters? Like the first one. What was your favorite moment?
Oh my, that's such a difficult question.
Because there's some great moments that I really liked in that.
I mean, the whole scene in the mayor's office is great. When they're like, when he's like, everything was fine until the power grid was shut off by Dicklers over here. Is this true? Yes, this is true. this man has no dick. It's like there's so many like incredible, and he's like, Your Honor, I've only been with this company for a few months, but I can tell you these things are real. I have seen shit that'll turn you white. It's like, I just love that scene so much. And like when like the like when Peter's like, Mr. Mayor, if you do this, Lenny, you will be saving a city full of registered voters. And then you cut to the priest who just like, who puts his thumbs up, and it's like, it's just the funniest thing. Oh, what about you? What's your favorite moment from Ghostbusters?
The great moment from Ghostbusters for me was like when they caught Slime. Is it Simon?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Simon. And then Bill Murray's character is just like, we came, we saw, and kicked his
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. Did you see it? What is it? What do you have here, sir? Is a classic stage 4 apparition. Oh, it's so good. And he's like, $500,000? That's absolutely ridiculous. I won't pay it. Oh, we can put it back in here. No. Like, it's so funny. And obviously the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, like, Ray, what did you do? Oh shit, what did you do, Ray? It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Cut to a giant marshmallow man walking. Oh, it's just so iconic. Maybe one day we'll do an episode on Ghostbusters. It's like just one of the greatest films ever made.
There's so much stuff to talk about that film. There's like
so good
with the music, with the characters, and the last scene, you know, where they cross streams.
Oh yeah,
cinema.
Nice working with you, Dr. Venkman. Yeah, it's so good. And in the end, how they're all covered in marshmallow, apart from Venkman, who's just fine. Oh, it's brilliant. And the beginning, he's like, "Are you, Alice, currently menstruating? What does that have to do with anything? Back off, man. I'm a scientist." It's just why I just love that film, man. It's
I want to watch it now. I want to watch it now.
Yes, right, I watched it I watched it a couple of days ago, like in preparation for the Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it's just cinema of the highest order. What a film! What a film!
Oh my god.
Let's talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
No Way Home. Right.
It's been a long time coming. We've been waiting for this for ages. It feels like Twitter has been on fire every week. Like, where's the trailer? But here we are. What do you think?
I've just been waiting patiently for the trailer. I was just like sitting down. Just, like,
Twitter's on fire, and everyone's like you know, like throwing like,
oh my god, where's the
like,
trailer? We need it
and
now.
John's just sitting there like in the corner, just like, this is fine. Just sitting there in the corner, like, this is fine.
This is fine. I'm just sitting here, just drinking my J2O.
Little J2O.
Yeah. Best flavor is orange and passion fruit. Don't go.
Yeah, but I do like raspberry and apple though. I'm not gonna lie.
Apple mango, I think.
That's good. I tell you what though, there's like a special Christmas one. I know, right? Like,
right.
And it has it's like glitterberry, and it's so nice, man. Like, it actually has glitter in it. You know, like when you shake a J2O.
Yeah.
Like, it's glitter.
Right. Okay, Tom. If you remember, years and years ago, there was one flavor that I absolutely loved from J2O, and I shared it with you. And it was like an orange one. It had like Victorian stuff in it, and it was like a J2O, and it was like orange and something, and it was like the best flavor.
Oh man, I think I remember that, man. Is it gone?
Yeah.
Did they still make it?
I don't know. That's one thing I can't find, because it was so good, that flavor, and like I need to find it again. It was just so good. Now they just don't make it anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now rebranding to the Out of Time J2O podcast. And we will dedicate our lives to the search of this mysterious flavor of J2O, of which we will never find ever again. Let me search, like, okay.
Right.
Different J2O flavors. What we got? Okay. As of 2019, the J2O range of flavors includes apple and mango, apple and raspberry, orange and passion fruit, spritz pear and raspberry, spritz apple and watermelon, spritz apple and elderflower, spritz peach and apricot, flamingo fling, which is a limited edition. What the hell is flamingo fling?
Right,
what's happening right now? Mint forest orange cherry and chocolate. What? That sounds amazing. Which is also a limited edition. Toucan Trist, which is also limited edition. Glitterberry, that's the one that I had at Christmas, which is also limited edition apparently. And Summer Shine, which is also limited edition. I did not know there were so many flavors of J2O. Like, what is happening right now?
I need to. Right, we're gonna study carefully on this J2O.
Tune back in next week for another update on the J2O, the J2O Chronicles. God. I'm gonna send you the list that I just found.
Right.
Oh, that is bad formatting.
What? Right, because it is orange and wait.
You found it.
I found it.
What is it? What is it?
It's orange, lemon, and mandarin.
What? That's not even on this list. Excuse me? Orange, lemon, and mandarin. What's going on?
It's
the world's
here.
Imploding.
Oh my God!
Way.
I found it. All these years.
Orange, lemon, and mandarin. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, have you found it?
I found it.
Where is it available, John?
Mandarin.
I'm not finding anything here, you know.
Oh my God. It is Midnight Amber. Yes.
Midnight Amber.
Yes, and it's
Midnight Amber.
Oh
wow,
my God.
It's just coming up with a perfume.
No, I'll show you.
Oh, I see it. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is insane. What is going on? What a time. This is mad. This is beautiful. John, I'm gonna cry. This is like
wait. There's a poem.
You can get 3 for 99p.
There's a poem for this, J2O.
There's a poem.
Okay. As the kite strikes midnight, delicious fruits tumble down steep steps of the tower as couples spin even faster. The air fills with wonderful blend of orange, lemon, and winter aromas.
That's beautiful, man. I'm gonna cry. That's like,
where can I get it?
I will now weep. This is beautiful. What a time to be alive.
Oh my God. Where can I get it?
I don't think it's available anymore. I think it's limited edition, like so many before. John, I'm so sorry.
All those years ago, I couldn't find it.
All those years.
Gone. I'll never get that taste ever again. Anyway, Spider-Man No Way Home.
What's happening? Spider-Man No Way to J2O. The latest film, of course.
I mean, I'm just still stunned by that. They even still have Glitterberry. That's the problem. They have
that's the one that I'm pretty sure I've had that a couple of Christmases now. That's like that's a thing that I've had a few times.
That was 2015 that J2O Midnight Amber limited edition.
What, 6 years ago? Oh man,
yes.
John, I hate to break it to you, but we're old. We are old men.
Oh my God.
I need a walking stick.
I want it. I just want the flavor. Why can't we have the flavor? We need it back. This is like Szechuan sauce, but one of the best drinks ever made.
Oh my God, this is insane. I just want to point out, we've been talking about this for 7 minutes. Who knew this pod would take on such a wild turn? It really finds its voice in episode 65. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I want the drink now. Okay.
I need it.
Spider-Man No Way Home. J2O. We're not sponsored by J2O. I'm sorry, but we
could be. Honestly, if you're listening, J2O, sponsor us. We will try on air all your new flavors.
And that flavor, please. The orange, lemon, and mandarin.
Give it to us now.
No. Right. Okay. So when I mentioned Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, the trailer just came on cinemas Afterlife.
It did. Yes. Oh my God, I got it too. Best moment of my life. I was so happy. I was just like,
I was like, oh my god, this is so
Cinema!
good. I was like, just sitting there, just like, oh my god, it's here, and just like, you know, seeing it on the big screen. But the crazy thing is that this trailer just came out Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and or Wednesday, I don't know. But when it came, that's so quick for, you know, cinema to have that trailer. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I think that it's likely that Spider-Man: No Way Home will be the first film post-pandemic to hit $1 billion. 100% is that going to happen? Like, everyone on the internet is excited about this. It's the first trailer is the most viewed trailer ever. You know, like regular movie audience goers love Spider-Man, love the MCU, love Andrew Garfield, love Tobey. You know, like so much. I think there's gonna be so much love for this film. Whether even if it's good or not, I think this film will do very well financially. But yeah, this trailer, I think everyone thought it was gonna have Toby and Andrew in it. I am I'm so glad that they're not in it. Like, oh my god, I was so like, imagine this, John. Just cast your mind back to 2019 and imagine if they put the cinematic masterpiece of a moment where Captain America catches the hammer, or where the portals open, or where he says Avengers Assemble. Imagine if they put that in the trailers for Endgame. We would have lost our collective shits. You can't spoil that kind of thing in a trailer. Like, what is the point?
If we reacted that together, we would have like died. I'm sorry, we just died.
It would have been amazing, don't get me wrong, but seeing that in the cinema for the first time, and I am incredibly critical about Endgame, but seeing that in the cinema,
very critical,
man. That made me so happy, and it still makes me happy to this day. It's brilliant. However, you can't put that stuff in the trailer, and I'm so happy that Toby and Andrew aren't in the trailer. You know, the trailers still haven't shown us that much about it. You know, we kind of now understand a bit more about the plot, but still, I'm happy that we haven't seen a whole lot about it.
We even barely scratched the surface of this film. We only seen like not anything else that, you know.
We've only seen like, not anything. Yes.
Like, I mean, not, you know, different stuff there as well, but like Doctor Strange, this is Spider-Man. Oof. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's going to be cool. I mean, point out, this is the first time that MCU Spider-Man has finally stood up against another hero for what he believes in. Thank you. I've been waiting years to see him stand up to another hero. You know, like the whole time in the MCU, he's just been kind of like, oh, Mr. Stark. Like, but I think obviously there's more to him than that, but like still, that makes me so happy. Doctor Octopus versus Spider-Man. Now that's cinema. Hearing Doctor Octopus say, "You're not Peter Parker," that is like my favorite thing now. That's it. Cinema's peaked. Like, just seeing him not only destroy the Iron Spider suit, but like, yeah, dude, so cool.
The one thing that I really want to see, you know, that meme, that Spider-Man pointing at each other, just like, hey,
that is 100% gonna happen.
With all three just like pointing at each other, just like, oh my god, just doing that. That'll be
definitely. I think that's gonna happen. I think this trailer implies that Toby and Andrew are gonna come in the final battle. You know, like in the Statue of Liberty, which is being changed to a Captain America Statue of Liberty. That's cool. I mean, like, I think that's quite fun. I think it makes for a nice little set piece. Very different for what they've been going for so far. But yeah, I think the fact that the trailer makes it seem like they're going to come in that final action scene. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think they'll be in it before then, so they can have some time to talk to Tom and kind of like establish themselves as heroes. And I think that we'll get the pointing scene. I think they'll all like. There is literally one scene that I want, and it's a scene where Toby sits down with Tom and he says, "My uncle once told me, with great power comes great responsibility." And Tom says,
"I'm getting goosebumps already. I'm getting goosebumps already."
Exactly. And Tom says, "I know. My uncle said the same thing." Or even better, and I saw this on Twitter, and I need this. Toby says, "My uncle once said," and then Tom says, "With great power comes great responsibility." And like, just a beautiful moment. I think that'd be amazing.
Like, the great thing is that it's kind of like the different generations of Spider-Man you kind of see on screen there. Like, you can see that, and definitely. They share all the life story, like, what happened with, like, with their MJ or their Gwen Stacy, and like that gives that Spider-Man a whole life.
Well, we talked a little bit about this on text, but a lot of people think that Andrew's Spider-Man is going to be the one who saves MJ from falling. What do you think about that?
That is going to be a beautiful arc.
I agree.
That just like saves everything, and saves a lot of grievances for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. You couldn't save anyone, but he saved other people. He could save millions, but he can't save one.
He couldn't save his Gwen, but he can help. I don't think that he should be the one to save him. I think he should help Tom. I think he should like swing Tom into MJ and be like, you can save your MJ, I couldn't save my Gwen. That kind of thing, maybe. Like, I think it'd be so cool. We're seeing the funniest thing is everyone is asking Andrew Garfield, is he in Spider-Man? And you just see him get so tired. He's just there, just like, like, yeah, like,
he can't hide it
like,
anymore.
Guys, like, I might be, I might not be. Just leave it alone. Like, yeah.
What was I gonna say? We haven't heard anything from Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, he's apparently met a lot of like fans and talked to them, but he hasn't been in any. Do you know what the last film Tobey Maguire was in?
The Great Gatsby.
It was The Boss Baby. He played the old like the narrator of like the old like main character.
You're kidding me?
There is a beautiful like right, okay, let me find it.
You're kidding me. You saying that he was in The Boss Baby, and then like he could have been a lot of great films. He's a great actor.
No, he is. Right, okay, let me find it. There is a video. Right, okay. Get Instagram up now and watch this. For those of you who don't know, because I can't play it on the screen right now, but it's a video of Tobey Maguire talking about it's like 5 seconds long. It's just him talking about The Boss Baby. It's brilliant.
All right, just give me some time. Just trying to.
Yeah, of course.
So he wasn't.
No, he hasn't been in anything since then, and obviously Andrew Garfield is promoting his new film Tick Tick Boom. Which is why he's doing so much like press and stuff.
Wait, there's one thing that we forgot.
What do we forget?
Venom. He might be in this film.
Get him. Well, I mean, I think Venom will be in it. I think very clearly he will be. I don't think Topher Grace's Venom from Spider-Man 3 will be in it because he's dead. But I think that Tom Hardy's Venom will almost 100% definitely be in it. The post-credit scene of Let There Be Carnage 100% like points that direction. I think he'll be in it. Definitely.
Yeah, I wonder what role he's gonna serve as.
I think either he's gonna be. I think it's likely he's gonna be the final member of the Sinister Six. Obviously, we've got Lizards, Electro, Sandman, Goblin, Ock. I think it's likely that, but maybe Ock's a good guy. Because there is a shot in this trailer of Electro shooting lightning, and it hits Ock. Now it might not be aimed at Ock, but I think that's interesting. Maybe Dr. Octopus is like has been redeems himself. How his arc in Spider-Man 2 ends.
Okay, I found it.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
He's just this boss baby. He's just this boss Honestly, I don't know why Tobey Maguire did that film. Honestly, he seems like he has no idea what he's talking about. He's just like, yeah, he's just this boss baby.
He's like passionately confused. Just like
just the boss baby, man.
Boss
baby.
Okay, but with No Way Home, I'm just like so excited to see.
Yeah. Like it even looks better than the other, like visually. That opening shot of Tom's Peter in the rain. Oh, it looks so good, man. Like some of these, like there's like the sequence with Tom's Peter and like Electro, like near the pylons, which is like kind of like in like at nighttime. Like it looks visually really cool, especially compared to other MC Spider-Man stuff. Still, the color grading isn't amazing, but it looks good. The one thing I want to ask is, there is a scene where Aunt May's running, and in the same scene, Tom tries to catch a pumpkin bomb.
Oh.
Which then explodes. Do you think Aunt May is going to die?
I can tell we haven't even barely scratched the surface of this film, but
no.
With Aunt May dying, that's going to be a lot for Spider-Man.
Yeah. I really see, here's the thing. I really want Spider-Man to go through some significant losses in this film, because like that is what makes Spider-Man, the loss that he experiences and the pain that he has to go through. They tried to do that with Tony in Endgame and Far From Home, and yeah, sure, they definitely tried. But in this film, you've got the opportunity to make someone big die. I don't think MJ is gonna die because it's Zendaya. They're not gonna kill Zendaya. They're not crazy. They didn't even have the marketing. Are you kidding me?
It's Zendaya, for goodness sake.
I don't think they'll kill. I think they will kill Aunt May, but I don't want them to, because Aunt May's relationship with Peter and the idea that the whole world forgets that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and so we have to deal with Aunt May not knowing and all the consequences that come with that, which is, again, some of the best Spider-Man stuff. However, I think I would love it if Ned dies. He has a connection to Peter. They're good friends. I think his death would mean a lot to Peter. It would really hurt him. But at the same time, Ned doesn't really do anything. He doesn't have a role in the plot. He's not really been there to like critique Peter. He's just there as like comic relief. And I think it'd be great if we killed him.
Yeah.
Saying that, I think Aunt May is going to die. 100%. I think this trailer suggests that she will die. But who knows? I guess who knows? And this trailer didn't show Daredevil either. Matt Murdock, who is again pretty much definitely going to be in it.
Yeah. I can tell there's going to be like Endgame. It's going to be like that level of like excitement.
Yeah. And hype. But I hope it's better than Endgame.
I'm putting my expectations low because I don't want to be.
I haven't. I'm sorry. Spider-Man's my favorite Marvel character. He's like my second favorite superhero after Batman. His films.
He's my second favorite Spider.
Yeah, his film means so much. His films mean so much.
I need more Spider-Man comics. I need more.
Yeah. Oh my God, same. Like honestly, I will always be excited for whatever Spider-Man does. So yeah, my expectations are high. Fuck it. If it's bad, I will feel the consequences. But yeah. Shall we end it there? Should we roll out?
Yeah, sure, let's do that. Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. So thank you for listening today. We had an interesting discussion about Ghostbusters
J2O.
J2O, yes.
We must find the flavors.
Does J2O have an Instagram account? I'll be so happy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, they don't.
Really?
They don't.
That's so weird. That's wrong, man. What happens if what about hashtags? Hashtag J2O. Wow, none of the hashtags they're all about planes.
Wait, what?
All the hashtags about J2O are about planes. None of them are about There's
planes?
There's one about J2Os. That's so weird.
I'm betrayed. I'm just.
We're betrayed by our love of J2O. What bullshit?
Can we get them an email or something?
I mean, yeah, let's just like contact them, being like, please give us your money so we can promote J2O.
Or let Lemon and orange and mandarin. If it's still like somewhere at, I don't know, but I remember getting the 6-pack version of it. Oh my god, it was amazing. It was
the only
good.
time you've ever had a 6-pack.
Okay, so
yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any like thoughts on what we said, like, you know, Spider-Man, J2Os, Ghostbusters, let us know. Let us know if you want to do a video on the first Ghostbusters, because I would love to talk about the first Ghostbusters. I could gush about that film for hours. And yeah, send us an email about any of these things. Ask us some questions, you know, about like Spider-Man. And next week, John, what are we doing next week?
The Spider-Man films.
Yes, we're doing the Raimi trilogy. I'm so excited. Honestly, you should see my notes. I've shown you my notes. Actually, I've just got so much to say about the Raimi trilogy. I'm in love. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. And then the week after, we're doing the Amazing Spider-Man films. The week after, we're doing the MCU Spider-Man films. And the week after that, No Way Home time, baby. I'm so excited. This is a really, really exciting stretch for the pod. So, you know, subscribe if you want to see more, because I promise you will not be disappointed. I'm so excited to talk about these films, and we will do them justice, or as much as we can. I can't promise high top films level quality, but I can promise a good ass time.
This is going to be a long episode, this one.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. We're going back to our roots of long ass episodes. And yeah, follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well if you want to. You can see all of our thumbnails on Instagram done by an incredible thumbnail artist Zane. He just sent me the one for Ghostbusters, and I must say it looks really cool. And on Twitter, you just like hear my thoughts about like tons of things. I tweet a lot, and yeah, so like check that stuff out if you're interested. And I think that's everything. Is that everything?
Okay, so wear your mask, go into the cinema, because come on, get vaccinated. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Go.
I feel like I should be getting my booster soon. I have no idea.
Yeah, go get your booster, man. Go get your booster. My booster's not until like.
Yeah, I don't think mine's in until next year.
More weeks to go. Yeah. Go watch some films at the cinema. There's some great stuff. I mean, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I mean, if you want something that is painfully dragging on for the first half,
it was fine, but I think it's worth it for the second half.
Worth it for the second half.
If you want to see something really good at the cinema, go watch Spencer. Woo! That is a film. That is
Spencer.
Cinema. Yeah, it's incredible, man. It is absolutely incredible. Go watch Spencer. Oh, Last Night in Soho. There's loads of films. You can just track back at our videos. We've talked about loads of stuff, you know. There's some great stuff out. And there's some great stuff coming out. The Matrix looks amazing. Every time I see the cinema,
Matrix, bro,
every time I'm in the cinema and I get the trailer, chills every single time. It's one of the best trailers
with that song.
Oh, so good. Like every time it like does like the climax, and you see like the person, like I'm not quite sure who it is, and they're like jumping from like the building to building, and like it just gives me chills, man. Bro, after all this time, going back to where it all started, going back to the Matrix. Yeah, we are talking about the Matrix. Don't you worry. On the 26th of December, so it's our episode after we do No Way Home. So don't worry, everyone. We're going to be talking about the Matrix. Of course we are, man. Oh, and Hawkeye starts next week. That's weird. I forgot about that. But yeah, for those of you who are wondering, we're not going to be doing weekly videos, but we will do a video in early 2022 talking about the whole show as a whole. Hope it's good. I think maybe Kingpin's in it. I don't know. Apparently the rumors say that he's going to be in it. Who knows?
That'd be interesting, but I'm not excited for the Hawkeye show. Are you?
I think it has potential, but from the looks of the trailers, I'm not that excited. No. But I think it could be really cool. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I'm so excited for the Matrix. So excited.
Me too.
Oh yeah, it's coming back in cinemas. The first original.
It is. Yes. Yeah. As I said last week, it's coming back. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I think I will. I don't know when it's out though, so I'll have to check that. But yeah. So without further ado, we will see you all, and we expect you all to be there next week for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. Trust me, it's going to be a fun one. I'm very excited.
It's such a beefy episode, so
it's going to be a beefy one.
Go grab some popcorn for this. It's going to be a wild one. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you for listening.
Please, John.
Did you say?
Say it. Say the thing.
Oh, okay. Thank you for listening. Okay. Take what you're given.
And give nothing back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.